The dog is with me here as we are reviewing some magazines. So, because the puppy's right here hanging out with me, why don't we get into 1995, November, American Survival Guide, where the cover is an 870 shotgun. They call it an 870 home defense shotgun. We got a thing that says computer privacy encryption. Rolling back gun control. That sounds interesting. An American Survival Guide. I look at enemas. I look at anemas. I don't know what that means. And then echinacea, immune system booster. And then it says dogs for survival right here. And it's got a picture of a gray dog that looks trying to look like my dog with his tongue hanging out. So it says at the top, win a deluxe survival kit. So that was a running theme. Three of the four that we're looking at here all say win. Two of them say 9mm carbine. Of course, that didn't work, and they quit doing it. And then they started trying to give away a survival kit, it looks like. So this one is from November of 95. The back cover is a cool teepee. It says Preventive Skills and Earth Wisdom. This was someplace in Lufkin, Texas. I guess there's water in Texas, in Lufkin. And Wilderness Way features articles covering... Wait, what is this? Is this a vacation? Oh no, this is a magazine. Wilderness Way is a magazine, and you're going to learn things like friction fire and blowguns and boomerangs and snares, plant fiber cordage, flint napping, which is chipping arrowheads, atlatl, and more. So that's kind of interesting. All right, so we're thumbing through, and there's a whole bunch of interesting stuff in 1995. Let's dig in. First thing is all kinds of VHS tapes. Do I have this one handy? I mean, I have this one nearby. I own that one. I had that one. I had a bunch of these, actually. And I couldn't get enough. I had actually a whole bunch of these VHS tapes. And I thought they were great. You know, they were cheesy. And they were, I figure, useful. You know, they gave you some awareness of some general tactics and stuff. And how to use kit. Let's see, so then we get into the table of contents. First ad for Delta Press. Delta Press was a great catalog, mostly books, but some posters and some other things. Digging in to the point is, I guess, the editorial. Where did that start? Looks like it says continued from page 6. Oh, I pulled 2 pages right away. So the first page is To the Point, Popular Culture Express by Jim Benson. And gets into some stuff. We got the Paladin Press, one of my favorite catalogs from back in the day. A bunch of different books and things. Ooh, Choate Manufacturing, or Choate Machine and Tool, has an ad for a thumbhole stock for an AK. Kind of an interesting drawing type mechanical drawing type of advertisement. Going through some articles where they're reviewing the Seal hand-to-hand VHS. They're reviewing a book about the Ashes of Waco, called The Ashes of Waco, a 320-page book, and the Gun Trader's Guide from that year, which was, does it say which episode, which version of it? Then we get into new products. A Duo Light, Guardian Personal Security. Oh, that's a flashlight, lantern, and then... Oh, I guess that's its whole thing, is it goes from flash to lantern. I thought it was like also a personal alarm. It just goes from lantern to flash. This is kind of nice. The Magnum camp knife is basically a piece of bar steel. Oh, it is from BK&T. So, yeah, so that's pretty cool. That's been around for a while, 1995. We got the Bush Ranger. What is that coming from? Cold Steel. Got some Israeli sleeping bags reviewed. A British Canteen. Some 1911 parts from JHR. It must be hard to review in an article. There's a little blurb like that. Got a weird tube feeder for a .22. That's kind of interesting. A little thing that's about the size of a magazine that you put a bunch of 22s in and then slide them down into the tube. This deck of cards right here I actually own. So let me see if I can go find that real quick. Maybe I don't. Oh, wait, where did it go? The format of them looked kind of the same, but I guess that format isn't all that unique, so I guess I don't have that same deck. We'll keep going. Check 3. I think I have that. Now that could be cool, trying to go through and see how many of the things I actually own from these magazines. It's actually probably quite a lot of things. Now this is a Spyderco. I was never a fan of Spyderco until I started getting more familiar with them, but I definitely would not like this weird thing with a clip thing on it. Wrong way into an avalanche. The easiest way to not go into an avalanche is not go into a bunch of snow. Don't have to worry about avalanches. Pretty easy. I definitely remember seeing this guy all the time. I didn't always read those articles though. I really wanted one of these until I made one, and then I never needed one again. The Tool Logic little card. Dang, 95, huh? So, Major Surplus and Survival. Where is this place? Garden, California. Uh-oh. 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 I think I might need to find out if I've been here and I didn't even know it. This is a whole nother video right here. This is a whole video going to happen right there. Alright, so now we get to the 870. There's a bunch of people. Jim Benson shooting it. Oh, then we get into puppies. There's a good looking puppy. Looks like a certain dog in California that we know. Then we got a little beagle. And we got this dog on the cover. That gray dog. And now we got a thing about enemas or anemas. I look at causes, diagnosis, and types. Got somebody jabbing somebody. Getting the COVID shot back in 1995. That's definitely getting ahead of the science. Here we got habitat. They can't grow without it. Help conserve it. 1-800-CALL-ELK. A service from the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation and this publication. That's the kind of stuff that would go on without government regulation, just through the combined collaboration of entities like the magazine and the foundation and concerned individuals to make awareness of. And I mean, who wouldn't want to help preserve an elk? And when you have very few things to pull from this magazine, that's unique. Thing about air guns, I would have blown right through that because nobody cares. Water storage, that's interesting. 4 buckets was $209. I can get that for $80 right now. So that's interesting. This ad was certainly around for a long time. Nitro pack. Now we have a Spyderco Renegade, or is this a Spyderco? Yeah, it's a Spyderco. So I don't like it. Then we got the Bataki. Is that how you say that? Got a bunch, basically suppressor, how to convert to full auto, those kind of things. Now this is 95, so this is a conversion that would have been after the 86 Gun Owners Protection Act and the Hughes Amendment. So this would have been for, those books would have been for SOTs, that kind of thing. So then we have a SKS firing pin safety. So back then somebody was like, oh, I can do something better than the Chinese, as if, right? Come on. Echinacea, so how to garden, it's nice. And then how to turn it into drugs, I guess. That's a lot of article. 2-3 pages about the Echinacea. Oh wow, I didn't know these things were that old. So Kawasaki Mule, little 4-wheel drive fake pickup truck looking thingy back before there had to be any safety stuff other than 2 bars on it. So no windshield or nothing. Kind of cool. I had no idea they were that old. Then we get Steve Arnold's Gun Room, one of my favorites. I always like looking at the lockpicks. Problem is, it's always the same lockpicks. They must never change that ad, so that was kind of boring. Oh, the SWAT challenge. That's kind of interesting. Wonder where this range is. Let's see, Manager Lawman Sales, Santa Ana, California. November, it's Scott Challenge. I guess it'll probably tell you in there somewhere. Probably in California. So it's interesting. Something about SWAT in the American Survival Guide. I would have thought that would have been in the SWAT magazine. So let's see. A couple of different books being reviewed here. And this was a magazine reviewing books, right? There's the speed loaders we saw in another one of these issues. I don't know what order I'm putting these things up. Oh, snap, a GPS. I wanted a GPS so bad. I thought they were magic, and I figured having one would make it so much easier. Turns out I was never bad with a map and compass, so I always did okay. But for some reason I figured I could do even more with the GPS. And those first GPSs were so inaccurate. Holy moly, were they bad. So it turns out all this drooling and envying the concept was never as great in real life. Now it's a little different story. Back then, totally different. So staff evaluation of the OA93 carbine. I don't know what's going on with this. I'm sure somebody cares more than I do about that, but I'm sure there's a reason for that article. Hurricane Aaron. I didn't know that these tools were that old, but the Tool Logics, no wonder I wanted one so bad. They've been brainwashing me since the 90s to want one. This is talking about the actual survival event, and that's interesting because you'll notice there's quite a bit of ads. There's articles, and they're trying to get you to buy stuff, but there is information about actual survival situations and the kind of things to watch out for, the results and the lessons learned, right? Is that a cold steel Bushman? Pretty neat little deal. Very simple, just a piece of metal with the handle created out of wrapping the metal itself around nothing, and then you can jam a stick or a broomstick or something in there to make it into a spear. Pretty inexpensive back in the day, 19 bucks from Cold Steel. Got a couple of Benchmades with the holes, so that's kind of interesting. There was, I'm sure, some sort of debate and proprietary claim on the hole in a knife type of thing, but by 95 you already see Benchmade doing it. This is the official knife of Gunsight Training Center. That's interesting. We missed a surplus ad down here for Sierra Supply. Is that in California? Durango, California, Colorado. So now we got the Contract with America, a call for Congress to preserve our Second Amendment. I think we'll read this one as a second, as a separate video. This was in 1995, so as a result of the 94 assault weapons ban, there was this Contract with America. So I guess we'll focus on that with this article. Maybe I'll find some others out there. Let's see. So we got a ghillie suit looking thing. Got another M&M Engineering, a bunch of different books for sale. More wilderness stuff. The continuation of that OA93 carbine. Got some Southern Ordnance, kind of a surplus store type of ad there. Some lockpicks and knives. Pawnbrokers as survivalists. A pawn shop could be your ticket to a secure financial future. So I guess they're saying that having a pawn shop might be the way to hedge a business that can last through tough times, perhaps. Was there a lot of inflation in 95? I'm not sure. So this is the continuation of that dog article, and, you know, they're not bad. They got a Doberman in there. It's a goofy picture of a Doberman, but it works. They say a Doberman is a smooth-coated, generally black dog, racist, with reddish tan markings on the face, chest, and feet. Uncropped and undocked, they resemble a plain hound dog, that's for sure. Males stand 26 to 28 at the shoulders, or 29 if they're awesome. And weight ranges from 60 to 75, or 90 if they're from Yugoslavian blood. And something of a mix of a Terrier, Rottweiler, and a few other breeds. The Doberman has a reputation of ferocity and aggression that, due to training and current breeding, is fairly well deserved. Although not a cold weather dog, it is a strong, faithful animal that will stand by you when the going gets tough. Properly trained, the Doberman will serve you and your family well. Yeah, I can't imagine a better dog breed than the Doberman. Unless you just want a dog that isn't 100% your ally and there for you all the time. Or was never more than a couple of feet from me, ever. So this is the rest of that article. Oh, PGP is pretty good privacy. So they're talking about in 1995, encryption and privacy. Super interesting. I might go back and read that article actually. So we got Phil Zimmerman, Legal Defense Fund, for the like to contribute, send a check. So I think, oh, this is for the security thing. I thought that was for the contract with America. State citizenship. The Second Amendment ain't for U.S. citizenship. What does that mean? Steve Jones, a citizen, takes an oath to obey of California. So Steve Jones describes himself as a former 14th Amendment federal citizen who at various times... So that's interesting. Maybe some sort of weird secession or something. I'm not sure what that's all about. We got the continuation of the 870, the beginning of some of the ads start up here. You can get back issues of the magazine. Here's the giveaway for, I guess, giveaway number 3 for 1995. And there's just some prizes. It almost looks like another set of advertising, or almost like a catalog. But a bunch of different stuff. Then you get the survivalist directory. It's much smaller than that other one. The other article, or the other issue that we looked at, had a much larger survivalist directory, so it must have not been a popular thing, perhaps, or maybe it fluctuated. Then we've got the classified ads, seem to be a little bigger. U.S. Cavalry over here. Cutlery shop. Bunch of mail stuff. Then we got survival hauling techniques. Portable rope system for rescue. And they're showing how to anchor and belay somebody out of a big hole, I guess. Bunch of people. And then you got Delta Force, new force in competition, law enforcement parts. Bunch of Wilson Combat stuff and Ed Brown. So it looks like a place that sold parts that other guys were making. I remember seeing this tractor quite a bit. China Diesel Imports. Alright, so that's a 1995 copy of American Survival Guide. That's another almost 20 minutes just going through the thing. Kind of describing it for folks that don't have a chance to check it out in their hands. And because, I'm not zooming in and looking at every single detail. So we got 2 more here. I think I'm going to try doing them this way. I'm just going to upload these raw. Let me know what you think. If there's worth doing these, if I should do just the ads. I will be looking at just the articles. Those will be separate. But when we're talking about these magazine reviews, should I do just the ads and classifieds and stuff at the back, or should I just get in and spend 20 minutes on an issue like this? Looking forward to the comments. Till next time. Thanks for watching.